this restaurant
Recording
is good,
in
that restaurant
progress.
is good, and then we go and then have dinner. When I was studying in IIT Madras, I still remember in 2005, IRCTC was not yet there. For me to travel from Vizag to Chennai, I have only one train called, a couple of trains, but then one comfortable train called Howrah Mail. And how do I book the ticket? I have to go to the station, fill the form, stand in the queue, and book the train ticket. How do you find a new house? You walk around and then see whether there is a name board for house for rent and house for sale. Right? These are all, I would say, problem statements. Right? Look at them, how these problem statements were solved, and unicorns were built out of it. Ola, Uber, at the click of a button, you book a cab right now. You don't even have to own a vehicle. Which restaurants do you go? Where you want to go? Zomato and Swiggy. You don't even have to visit the restaurant. At the click of a button, you get the food. How do I book a flight ticket? No, you don't have to visit airports or train railway stations. At the click of a button, bus, everything, bus, trains. Even the houses and doctors can be accessed at the click of a button. Do you agree that all these guys have looked at this particular problem as an opportunity and built solutions for these problems, and in the process built enormous wealth for our nation and huge employment opportunities for our people? Just to tell you, startups alone are contributing to 4.5 lakh organized jobs. Again, let me tell you, these are not unorganized jobs. 4.5 lakh jobs are given by startups alone in our country at this point of time. Right? So one of the important things that any entrepreneur to have is the ability to look at an opportunity, the ability to look at the opportunity, not just the ability to look at the opportunity, but then the ability to frame up a solution, right? Ability to frame up a solution, ability to frame up the right problem statement, and ability to frame up the right solution for it. Now, coming to the main core of our talk today, how do I start thinking? How do I develop ideas, right? How do I develop ideas? It is very, very simple. For anybody to develop ideas, right? This is the framework I would always encourage people to consider. This is how you develop ideas, right? First of all, understand where your passion lies. Understand where your passion lies. How do you define where your passion lies? Simple. If at all you love to do something the most, then that becomes your passion. Understand where your passion lies. Then find out, does the world need that particular passion? And does the world need it? Then try to identify, can you be paid for it? And then understand, do you have skills for it? Now, because of the limitation of time we have, I'm not spending much time here, but then this alone would be a 2 to 3 hour session where we will encourage students and faculties to understand where their passion is. Some of them have passion to write, some of them have passion to code, some of them have passion to build machines, some of them have passions to treat people, right? Medicine, right? Understand where your passion is. Understand, does the world need it? And is the world prepared and ready to pay for it? And do you have the skill set for it? Now, when you have a lot of ideas, right? How do you generate ideas? This is how you generate your ideas. Understand you at the center of it. This framework is also called as the framework of Ikigai, the very purpose of existence. Now, generate your ideas through this. Look at the opportunities. Where is the problem? For example, during the pandemic, you might say pandemic, or many of these, you might say during the pandemic, many industries were down. But let me tell you, yes, left-hand side, tourism was down, hospitality was down, dining was down, film industry was down. In fact, any industry that has crowds and has the possibility to defile the social distance was down. But then on the right-hand side, there are industries which flourished because of pandemic: pharma, medical, vaccination, health and fitness, hygiene, work from home, service sectors, essentials and basic needs, innovative way of doing business. E-commerce industry grew by 34%. Never ever in the history of e-commerce did it register a growth of 34% in a single year. And e-commerce grew last year. Logistics grew, last mile deliveries grew, warehousing grew, cold storages grew. Now, these are just examples, my friends. Work from home, right? These the electronic media through which we interact grew. Teaching abilities grew. The ability to teach grew through online, right? All you need to do is start looking for opportunities. And you will be able to get them. right? Now, example, artificial intelligence in medicines, right? It is very, very difficult to create a vaccine just like that. But then artificial intelligence helped doctors to go through multiple volumes of scientific material available and then throw to them the right composition and combination, right? Again, in contactless temperature supporting or monitoring systems in the airport, nobody needs to contract. You just go through it and then the system will be able to measure your temperature. Drones to deliver medicines, robots to deliver medicines in the hospitals, autonomous vehicles no longer require drivers. Don't you think these are all opportunities that are arriving due to pandemic? Do you agree with me? Right? So these are all few thoughts that I'm giving to you, right? These are all few examples that I've given to you, but I'm sure that you are aware, right? These are all few examples. There are multiple such opportunities that you will have to generate ideas. How do you generate idea? Always keep yourself at the center of your universe. You looked at the Ikigai framework. If time permits, I will do one more session on how do you discover that entrepreneur in you and then generate ideas, right? So now I assume that you are able to look at an opportunity and generate an idea or build a problem statement around it. And then the next important, this is a 4-step framework that I'm going to give you to validate your idea. I mean, developing an idea, generating an idea is an easy thing. But then before you invest your time, efforts, and money into it, you want to validate that idea. And how many of you like these simple success formulas, right? Which are made very easy for you to consume and understand. Do you like this 4-step formula that I'm going to, of course, I'm going to reveal this, but do you like this approach of condensing everything into simple things so that you will be able to understand and apply? If you like it, say yes. Yes, great. Now, then let me take you through this 4-step formula without delaying much. For any idea to be validated, my friends, you might have a wonderful idea, but then that idea needs to be validated before you invest any amount of energy or efforts into it. And I would say these are the 4-step formula to validate that idea. What is that 4-step formula? First and foremost thing, understand if your idea is in line with the government policies. Look at the 5-year planning policies, commissions. Look at the different policies that are released by the government. Just here, for example, there is a lot of action and a lot of thoughts around electric vehicles these days. Do you think all of this is accidental? Not at all. Not at all. If you look at the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, which was launched way before in 2010 or so, the seeds for electric vehicles that we are seeing right now were actually sown during 2010, almost a decade ago. Whoever was able to read that and position themselves into the right thing are now reaping the benefits of EV revolution. Paytm example, right? Until then, Paytm was used. Until demonetization, Paytm was only used by educated people. But then once our Prime Minister came and said, Mitrom, from tomorrow onwards, Notebandi, what happened? Every vegetable seller also started having Paytm code. Do you agree with me? Look at how Paytm was able to follow through the government policies and then validate and then scale up their idea. Now we are saying Adanis are investing a lot into aviation, right? Of course, Adanis are investing a lot in aviation. Why? Because they are following the government policies. Udan Regional Connectivity Scheme. Now every tier 2, tier 3 cities also will have airports, and Adani wants to ride on it. Drones. And in fact, just to tell you, there are 50 plus schemes by the government of India encouraging startups in different areas. Validate them with your policy. Validate your idea with your government policy. Second one, understand is the market trend in that direction. For example, today, this is the world of digital era. This is the world of online era, right? Earlier, for example, maybe to you or to your parents, if 1 crore is given to you, what will we do? We will probably buy gold. We will buy real estate. We will buy a house, correct? But not now. People, if 1 crore is given to them, they will spend them in traveling across the world. The consumer behavior has changed from asset ownership to asset light. They want to go around the world and experiment and experience life. Have you ever heard that cars can be taken on rent? Have you ever heard that the TVs, refrigerators can be taken on rent? We always thought that those should be purchased. But look at Furlanco, look at Zoomcar, look at Rapido, look at Bounce. There is no need for you to own anything. You can get everything on rent. Understand, okay? Second step is your idea in line with the changing market trends? Third one, is your idea changing or addressing any customer issue? Example, right? Earlier, Facebook only used to have one thumbs up. Now Facebook has all emoticons. Do you agree? Earlier, every kind of a, for example, phone pay used to have one QR code, Paytm used to have another QR code, Google Pay used to have another QR code, and now all digital payments have one QR code. Understand the customer pain points. WhatsApp earlier only used to be a message chat, and right now WhatsApp also we are talking about right group chats. Maybe WhatsApp will soon convert into Zoom. You never know. Right? WhatsApp is also into payments, yeah? Correct? Yes, you're right. So understand whether your idea is solving any particular customer pain point. So 3 steps we have seen. Is your idea in line with the government policies and initiatives? Is your idea in line with the changing market trends? Is your idea in line with the customer issues? Is your idea solving any customer pain points? And finally, most importantly, watch out for black swan events. Byju's, Topper, anybody, you name them, they grew. Zoom as an application after the I would say the work from home started, Zoom's valuation went up, right? PPE kits manufacturing went up. In fact, Uber and Ola, which were earlier delivering or moving people, they started moving cargo. What is it that I'm trying to communicate is, my friends, that this is a simple 4-step formula for you to understand and to validate your idea. And then Ikigai as a framework, I told you, is something for you to develop an idea. While you do all of this, ensure that your innovation and your craziness as an entrepreneur is not lost. Encourage your people to have to start thinking, right, innovatively. Why? Because let me give you, just before I stop, let me give you one small story. Do you see different brands here? Do you identify different brands here? How many of you identify these brands or products? Yeah. What is common among all of them? Tell me. What is the common thing among all of them? Outdated? Yes, you're right. None of them are existent before. In fact, the common thing about all of them is because none of them continue to innovate. These are bigger brands. Xerox is a bigger brand. Yahoo is a bigger brand. BlackBerry is a bigger brand. Sony Walkman is a bigger brand. Nokia phones is a bigger brand. General Motors Chevrolet is a bigger brand. If such bigger brands can end with disaster, then how much more startups and entrepreneurs need to embrace innovation? There is no escape from innovation. Every entrepreneur and every startup needs to have innovation. Yes, they are obsolete. None of these brands are relevant right now. So innovation is a must. So while you generate ideas, while you validate ideas, always remember that your ideas must be innovative. You need to have innovation, and innovation is a must. At this point of time, I would like to conclude this particular session. I'm sure you would have understood what entrepreneurship is. You understood what startup ecosystem is. You understood how to generate an idea. You understood how to validate an idea. In fact, you also, I believe, understood why right now COVID times is the time for us to bring innovation to solve problems. And you also understood how can one become an entrepreneur. All right? I believe this 45 minutes to 50 minutes that I spent with you added a lot of immense value to you. If so, you can talk about, if there are any specific questions, please feel free to ask me those questions. I'll be more than happy to answer these questions. And if you really like this session, I definitely would like you to, I'm going to put a small link here. Please feel free to give your feedback, right, on how you like the session. Probably 1, 2, 3 things that you picked up from this session, you found it useful. Please feel free to mention them in the link that I'm giving you here. Right? So there is a link that I've given in the comment box, in the chat box. Feel free to put your comments. Feel free to mention whatever you would like to mention about the session. And just to tell you, in collaboration with the government of Telangana, I'm conducting multiple entrepreneurship as a career, as a course in multiple universities. One of them is Watson University, and some of them, another one is Anurag Group of Institutes, other one is Siddharth Engineering College, right? So I'm taking these sessions. These sessions are basically meant to encourage students to consider entrepreneurship as a career, to help them become entrepreneurs. So if any of you, and this is kind of, I'm doing this as a session that is spread over, I would say, 3 months. If any one of you wants such sessions in your universities, in your colleges, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. So let me share my screen to you. You can search and then you can find me on, So on LinkedIn, you can find me by name Rajiv YSR. On Facebook, you can find me by name Rajiv YSR. My mail ID is rajivysr@gmail.com. And on YouTube also, you can find me by name Rajiv YSR, right? Feel free to get in touch with me. As I said, my desire is to help as many students to become entrepreneurs, to take up entrepreneur as a journey. How to understand a customer? Yes, I will answer that particular question. How to build our ability to look at the opportunity? Is it come by birth or practice? My friends, I would consider this as a skill. Skills can always be acquired. Of course, everybody will have a natural ability by birth and a talent, I would call, but everything can be, I would say, explored. Everything can be acquired. Skills can be acquired. You need to have an eye more in terms of how do I look at a problem, and then how do I start looking for a solution in that problem, than to get stuck with the problem. I think that is how you will get. Now, how to understand the customer? There is a different session on how do you get a customer, how do you profile a customer. I will talk about that particular customer thing. If there is no feedback link for this session, I request you all to leave your feedback on this particular LinkedIn thing. Please feel free to leave your feedbacks here. Yeah, feel free to mention all your feedbacks in the link that I've given. Now, if anybody wants to speak anything or anything, I'm fine. Otherwise, I'm done with the session. Once again, thank you very much, Shri Venkateshwaraa Engineering College, for the opportunity you've given to interact with the faculty, to help them in this particular thing. I'll be more than happy to talk about. In fact, I have, as I said, right, a 30 hours course on 30 to 60 hours course on entrepreneurship as a career. Will we get the learning material? This learning material is a I would say copyrighted one. Yeah. YSR means yeah, super resourcer. Thank you, Mr. Balamurugan. Thank you very much. Right. Please do not forget to mention your comments on LinkedIn link that I have shared. If some of you are not there on LinkedIn, and if you are there on Facebook, let me also give you a Facebook link for that particular post, because your comments, your feedbacks will help me to improve further, to add even more to the sessions, and then add more value to people, right? That is the only agenda, nothing else.
Yeah, thank you, Rajiv sir. It was a wonderful session. As our Dr. K.B. Jayaraman have said, yeah, it is a super and great resourcer you are. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, sir. I request our team to take up the session so that you can proceed with the closing note.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful and very informative session. I would like to thank our resource speaker, Mr. Raju YSR, for sharing his invaluable time with us. I also wish to express our sincere gratitude to you for giving an excellent coverage to idea generation and validation. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So some of you asked
for
for the LinkedIn link again. I'm sending that LinkedIn link again. Feel free to mention your comments and stay connected with me. If you want similar sessions of entrepreneurship as the 30 hours course, where the intent is to develop at least 10 startups by the end of the semester or by the end of the year from the students, and convert some of them at least into fundraising, right? Because just to tell you, I'm also a mentor on board with Telangana Hub, Telangana government, where I mentor startups. Also with Osmania University, where I mentor startups there, and with IIT Madras and IIM Bangalore. So I'm also an angel investor. I also invest my money among startups, right? So not only that I teach startups, and if those ideas are good, I invest money. I connect them with the venture capitalists, I connect them with the angel investors, I connect them with the incubators, and I connect them with the governments to ensure that those startups get the right money that is required to hone their idea and then to build their idea. So I'm not just a spokesman here. I'm also a practical guy who have been helping startups. So feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to stay in touch with me. I'll be more than happy to help you, your students, and your colleges. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So are we ending the session right now?
Yes, sir. We will wind up, sir.
And once again, whosoever has recorded this session, kindly share that particular recording, and please share that particular recording with me.
Okay, sure, sir. We will share you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.